So we'll go ahead and get started. So today our objectives are me giving you tips on how and where to find senior discounts. You're going to make a plan. You're going to make a list of stores that you frequent the most so that way you can boost your savings. You know, you've probably been shopping at a few stores or retails or online and didn't know that there's a way to get your discounts. And also, we're going to be navigating the online and offline resources. So we'll be talking about in-person stores, over the phone ordering, or even ordering online to make sure you get those discounts that you want to get. All right. So what stores have discounts? What companies have discounts? Have any of you right now, you might have been somewhere today and got a senior discount. If you want to share in the chat, you can type those in the chat. I'd love to hear where some of you have been saving. One place I got a senior discount just yesterday was at a thrift store, and it's called Savers. So every Wednesday of every week, they have a senior day. And all you have to do is tell the cashier, if you use the self-checkout, some of the Savers stores have self-checkouts. There's usually an employee that moderates that area. So you just let them know you'd like to have the senior discount, and they'll be happy to discount. And I saved an extra $7. So I get to keep an extra $7 in my pocket. Let's see. I think I see somebody in the chat. Yes, Walgreens. Yep, that was one of my ones I was going to share with you tonight. So I'll tell you exactly about Walgreens and how much they allow you to save. Walgreens is a great one because they are almost like a one-stop shop, and they're usually open fairly late. So you can always stop by on the way home from wherever and get a discount. And they may say something about prescriptions are not included. So just be careful with that. And also, I think nicotine products and alcohol is not included in that discount. All right, so we'll continue. So most of the time you do have to ask. I guess it's against some store policies for their cashiers to just assume and say that you look like you need the senior discount, or you look like you are going to be approved for a senior discount. So you have to ask for it most times. So just be aware of that. They're not going to just offer it to you. So you can find senior discounts in restaurants, movie theaters, grocery stores, retail stores, even when you're traveling. So just be sure when you're doing any of those above items that you get your discount. All right, so let's start with savings at restaurants. This is one of my favorites because, we're always eating. We have to eat to live. So we're always eating. If there's a restaurant that you are not getting a discount at right now, that you are even planning to go to in the future, in the next week or two, type it in the chat and I will let you know if I know of a senior discount. But if you get into the habit and practice of asking before you pay, so you almost want a sticky note on your wallet just to say, did I ask for my discount? That's a good practice to do just until you get into the habit of asking. But McDonald's, they offer seniors 55 and over 20% off their coffee every day. It's only valid for the coffee and teas though. So you can't combine it as a one meal, 10% off or 20% off a whole meal. It'll just be for the coffee portion or the tea portion. So just keep that in mind. Also, some IHOPs, they have this senior special where you buy one meal off and you get percent off the senior. So you buy a meal off the senior menu and that's already discounted. And then when you do that, and then you buy one meal at the senior discount, and then you get one meal free, but it has to be purchased between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. So keep that in mind. And it's for ages 55 and over. And it's most locations. And sometimes they'll even just do a 10% off discount if you just want to order from the regular menu instead of this senior menu. But just keep in mind the senior menu portions are going to be smaller. So keep that in mind also. And some locations with IHOP, they may offer half price dinner for one night during the week. So you would have to call directly to that IHOP to find out when is their half price dinner night. And that'll be half price off. And it's mostly one night a week. Some IHOPs might offer it twice. What they usually do is pick the slowest night of the week, or some locations, they might have 2 nights that they offer that. And it's usually like a Monday, Tuesday, or even Wednesday. It just depends on the location. Also, Ben and Jerry's, they offer 10% off for 60 and over. Bob's Big Boy, they offer up to 15% off, and you have to be 60 or over for theirs. I do see a question in the chat. All right, the Rose on Wednesdays and Dave's grocery store on Wednesdays. So you guys are you already know. So thank you, Sandra, for that. I really appreciate letting us know about those. I'll have to add that to my list, the Rose on Wednesdays and Dave's grocery store on Wednesdays. So Wednesday is probably their slower day in the week. So to get more traffic on that day, they offer that discount. So good for you. And Michael's, yes, I'm going to be featuring Michael's in my class today also. So I'll let you know exactly what Michael's offer. And then Mara says Kohl's, but she doesn't remember which day. It's either Tuesday or Wednesday. That's correct. I am also featuring Kohl's on a future slide coming up. So I'll let you know. It does vary by location. So the manager kind of looks at, what days are really super slow. They have an employee there that's, ready to help the customers, but then there's no customers. So this is a way to get the customers in the door. Thank you, Mara. All right, so we'll continue on and just continuing with some restaurants. There's some like Bob's Big Boy. I haven't seen Bob's Big Boy in my area recently, but you could type in the chat if you all have a Bob's Big Boys. I almost want to say they might be going out of business, or you can only find them down south. But I haven't seen them up north where I am. But they offer up to 15% off, and you have to be 60 or over. Boston Market also does 10%, and you have to be 65 or over for them. So I guess I'll include a lot of these in my notes, or you can also take your own notes if there's a restaurant that's in your area that you frequent and you want to remember. I would write it down, or put it in your notes in your phone. so that you can remember what that percent off and what age, especially if it's age appropriate to you. All right, so Burger King, which is pretty much a lot of places, they have 10% off, and you would need to be 60 or over. Captain D Seafood, they have $5.49 meals on Wednesdays, and also Sundays. You do have to be 62 or over to take advantage of those $5.49 meals. That's like they're stuck in time, back when meals were probably that price. So you get like a entree, a dessert, and a drink, and that for $5.49. So it's a home cooked meal almost. You might as well say it's not fast food. And for $5.49, you can't beat that on a Wednesday or Sunday. And you must be 62 or over to take advantage of that. There's also Carol's Restaurant. They have a golden 55 menu. So of course you have to be 55 or older. One that's very popular is Chick-fil-A. I'm going to take advantage of this next Tuesday when I'm out and about. And they, for 55 or older, you get 10% off your whole order, or you get a free small drink. So depending on the price of your order, it might be a better deal if it's two of you on one order to get the 10% off. And then CC's Pizza, they offer a very, it depends on the location. So you might want to call the restaurant before you get there, but you do have to be 60 or over to get their discount. It varies, so it could be anywhere from 5% up words, but the restaurant, each restaurant decides how much they want to give. There's Corky's Homestyle Kitchen and Bakery. They have senior menus, and they also have these frequent diner cards, but you do have to be 55 or older to take advantage of that. So whoever has a Corky's near you, and also if you have any of these restaurants near you, definitely type them in the chat because I want to see how much these are in location wise, because I think some of these might just be located in one state and then not be so broad range. But if any of these are helping you, just go ahead and type it in the chat so I'll know that it's relevant. There's Country Kitchen, and they have a light fare menu, and there's no age requirement on that. So if you're taking out family members, younger family members, just ask for the light fare menu, and those are lower price. Culver's Corner, I think a lot of those are in Florida, but they have 10% off, and you must be 60 or over to take advantage of that discount. There's also Dairy Queen. I know they're nationwide. They give 10% off, and you have to be 55 or older to take advantage of that. So we're going to move on because I know you can see that IHOP, Arby's, Applebee's, A&W, and Bennigan's all have discounts. They're out there. A&W, which I wish I had one near me, but their discounts will be varied depending on the state and the location. So we'll continue on. If anyone has a restaurant that I didn't name that you're planning on going to, or you just curious, just type it in the chat and I can definitely let you know if I'm aware of that. All right, so now let's talk about savings at movie theaters. So we know about matinees. Matinees are discounted for everyone. It's usually anywhere from $6 to $10. Sometimes it can be lower depending on the movie theater and the movie, but you just need to ask. And I'm so sorry that I'm repeating what's on the slide, but you definitely want to either take advantage of the matinees, or you can take advantage of asking for the senior, or when you're ordering online your tickets, just check the box for the senior. They usually have an offering. It'll say child, adult, and then senior tickets. And those are usually priced pretty well. All right, so we'll move on. Also with movie theaters, don't forget when you're getting your concessions, when you're getting your popcorn, drink, candy, ask for that senior discount also there, or ask them if they have any specials. That will be great savings. All right, so let's talk about grocery stores. This is another one of my favorites because, food, again, we need it to live. So we're always purchasing. These are some of the stores that right away come to mind. They offer great discounts. So, and it's on your total order except for your prescriptions, alcohol. So just keep that in mind, that the discount will come off of everything but those items. So Harris Teeter offers age 60 or older a 5% off discount on certain days. So just check with your local Harris Teeter or Kruger. They're sister companies. So they usually do pretty much the same thing. You do need to have a VIC card, which is a loyalty card, discount card. So you will need that. But I think Harris Teeter's, their day is Thursdays. Um, it may vary from state to state and also store to store. So just check with your local Harris Teeter to make sure it's Thursday. And then also Wise Market, they offer customers age 60 and older a discount every Wednesday. So Wise, their prices are already great, but then to get another discount on top of that, it will be great savings. Fred Meyer, they do 10% off on the first Tuesday of each month. So Fred Meyer's, you'll have to shop there once a month to really stock up and get what you need for the month, and that way get your 10% off. And then Uncle Giuseppe, they do 5% off on Wednesdays. You must be 65 or older to get that on Wednesdays. So again, you see the trend with the slower days of the week. You probably won't see a Friday, Saturday savings days. So you can always call your local grocery store before leaving just to find out what day is their senior day. All right, I see. Let's check the chat just to see. All right, Mara says Taco Bell near me gives free drinks and Wendy's near me gives a discount, but another one gives a free drink. So yes, depending on the location and the manager, whatever he wants to do, he can definitely, or she can do, and that will be what it is. So that's why I say call before you go. And then once you know it, I would even put it on the fridge or just put it in your notes in your phone so you can remember what day when you're ready to go. You say, oh, today, Monday, they have this. Tuesday, they have this. Wednesday. So you'll have your options for each day. Thank you, Mara. Thank you for that. And then Donna says there's a lot of restaurants listed in the AARP website. And that's what I wanted to do. Thank you, Donna. I wanted to give you options that weren't just AARP discounted. A lot of stores as long as you have your AARP card, you'll just show it or present it or give them the AARP number, member number over the phone or type it in online and you'll get your discount. But the ones that I'm trying to tell you about in this class are ones you don't need an AARP membership to receive a discount. So I wanted to give you options outside of AARP. So thank you so much, Donna, for mentioning that. All right, so we'll move on. So shopping. We are all shopping. A lot of people are shopping right now for the holidays, for birthdays, weddings, new babies. So it's good to get that discount. Like I said, I got the 20%, 30% off at Savers this past week. So that took like $7 off my amount. So if you do the math on that, I got some pots. So if you do the math on that, you'll see that I got a pretty good discount because the thrift store, they were already lower priced. So, but I also listed here Goodwill, Dress Barn, Ross, and Kohl's. But with the Dress Barn, for customers over the age of 55, you're entitled to a 10% discount. So that's great. So with all the holiday parties are coming up, New Year's Eve, you can go and find a new dress. And also Ross is an excellent place for seniors to save on clothing and home decor also. So any decorations you're wanting to get, or if you need some more plates or pots or whatever, you'll get that 10% discount. For Ross, it's every Tuesday for seniors 55 and over. So it applies to most of the items in the store, but certain brands might not be included in that discount. Brands like clothing and shoes and some home goods, but so like Nike is a brand name, that 10% discount will not come off on that. And that's most stores that sell Nike or Michael Kors or etc. brand names. The 10% discount won't work on those items. So keep that in mind when you're purchasing. Joann Fabrics, they have 20% off for 55 and over. And if you're going in Joann's, they will probably ask you to show your state issued ID because they only allow once a month. So I think they will actually take your name. Maybe not, but just in case, just make sure you have your ID, and they only limit that once a month. Michael's, I think it was either Mara or Donna, they mentioned Michael's, and Michael's offers 10% off for 55 and over. Also Rite Aid, they offer 20% off. You must be 65 or over for Rite Aid, and it's on the first Wednesday of each month. So keep that in mind, and it's in store only for that discount. The Salvation Army also, the thrift store, they offer anywhere from 15 to 50% off for seniors. You do need to be 55 or over. So because it could be up to 50% off, they may ask you for your ID. So always go in with your ID. That's a good practice. TJ Maxx, they offer 10% off for 55 or over. And as most locations, they are straight across the board, 10%. Walgreens, I think Donna or Mara mentioned that, and Walgreens is 20% off eligible items. So again, it's probably not going to be alcohol or prescriptions included in that. So it's 20% off, and you would have to contact your local Walgreens to see what day. because they can vary. Also, when you're shopping, stores like Banana Republic, the locations will vary, but their discount will be for 50 or over, so that's good. There's a Bill's department store. They're 15% off every Tuesday. You have to be 50 or over. Belk, Belk, they offer 15% off the first Tuesday of every month. You must be 62 or over. And Clark's, the shoe company, they offer 10% off. You have to be 62 or over. Now, this one, this next one, I really like because we're always buying cards. So Hallmark, if you go into the Hallmark stores, I love going in those stores, especially this time of year. They give you 10% off. It varies by location, so it'll probably be around 10% or maybe even less. But you just need to be 55 or over. The iParty website, they give 10% off. You have to be 55 or over. And Modell Sporting Goods, they offer 10% off if you're 65 or older. I do see something in the chat. Let's see. Sylvia says her Goodwill is discounted on Wednesday. Yeah. Oh, great. I'm so glad you guys already have places where you're getting discounts and you remember it. And to remember it, I don't rely on my memory. I put everything in my notes in my phone, and that way, and I list it by day of the week. So all my Mondays are together, all my Tuesdays are together, all my Wednesday stores are all in a list form. So I can easily just go to my phone and find out. And then if some stores that I'm adding, I'll just accordingly add them to the list. So Donna says there's a lot of restaurants listed on the AARP website. Yes. Yes. So, and for those of you that don't have AARP, don't worry. A lot of stores don't require that. And that's why I'm doing this class, so you can be aware of those stores. All right, and let's see. JJ in Atlanta says Goodwill also has color tags that show you pricing off of the day, color tag of the day, right? And it'll be 50% off, half off. Thank you, JJ. Yes, Goodwill. So, yeah, Goodwill can give you up to 50% off. So if you have a Goodwill in your area, put them on your list because you never know what you might need. And it makes no sense to buy it brand new when sometimes you can find things in Goodwill that are as good as new. So they have very little wear on them. So, and then Goodwill has those colored tags that will tell you on a certain day which one will be 50% off. So it's kind of a science, and you really need to have some time to go into the Goodwill to make sure you get the best pricing. So definitely keep them in mind. They're a great option for getting sales and getting great savings. Okay, so we'll move on. All right, so let's talk about phone discounts. So landline, call your local phone company, whoever your phone company is, and tell them, ask them, say, hey, I'm trying to save on my bill, and I wanted to make sure I'm getting a discounted rate, a senior discounted rate. There are senior rates for landline phones. So definitely put that on your to-do list if you are not already receiving a discounted rate. And then those of you that have cell phones, the big cell phone company right now that offers, they even have several commercials. I see it almost every day. Consumer Cellular, they're supposed to have the best rate, but AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon are getting hip to what they're doing, and they're lowering their prices for seniors also. But of course, it's age appropriate. So, for instance, AT&T has a discounted unlimited plan starting at $40 per line. You have to be 55 or older, and certain plans, you must be a Florida resident. So keep that in mind. And with the consumer cellular, I noticed they give you a 5% discount on usage, and monthly fees are a 30% discount on accessories. So if you're getting, earphones, or if you're getting chargers of that sort. Sometimes you also have to be an AARP member, so be careful with consumer cellular. Sometimes AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon may be lower. So just do your research and make sure you're getting the lowest. And if you're not, when you say, hey, I'm thinking about canceling because this other company has it lower, sometimes they'll match it and they'll lower your rate. So definitely share and get on the phone and make sure you're getting the best price. So for T-Mobile, you get a discounted unlimited plan starting as low as $27.50 per month. Um, that price, I believe, is before taxes and fees. So with the taxes and fees, I think it brings it back up to about $40 a month. So just know that sometimes when they're showing you an ad for a low price, it probably does not include the taxes and fees. All right, and you have to be 55 or older for T-Mobile. Verizon, they discount their unlimited plan starting as low as $40 per month. So very similar to AT&T. And you do need to be 55 or older for that one. So does anyone have any questions or any other plans, phone plans that you know that are either lower or that you're using right now that you enjoy your discount? If not, we will continue on. So services, well, not all of us, but most of us go to the hair salon, the barber shop, dry cleaners, the nail salon. They all offer senior discounts. You just need to ask. So usually if you go to the same hair salon, sometimes that stylist will discount you anyway. But if you can get a senior rate and it's lower just for a wash and set or cut, if say 12 cuts per year, if you're getting your hair cut 12 times per year, sometimes they'll discount that also for you if you're a frequent uh, customer with them. Dry cleaners, keep that in mind. You definitely don't, the prices are rising. So if you can get a discount, definitely take advantage of that. And if they don't offer it, ask them why, because maybe they will consider so that they don't lose you as a customer. So do your research and shop and compare. So if anyone has any other services that they are getting discounts right now, type it in the chat. I'd like to hear. I think I see someone typing now. Mara says Boost Infinite it used to be Republic Wireless who transferred all accounts to Boost Infinite. $25 a month for unlimited gigabytes. Not sure if new customers can get this rate. So great, Mara. I'm so glad you shared that because it's true. They want to keep their customers, so they will price match And so it's good for you to compare prices and let them know what their competitor is doing, because they'll match it just for you to keep you as a customer. So Mara, they wanted to keep you as a customer, so they offered you the $25 a month. So that's really good, because I'm paying about $43 with all the taxes and fees per month, but I like my plan. I like it, so I'm willing to pay the $43 a month. Thank you, Mara. All right. So, okay, so if no one has any other services, I'll continue on. So, discounts while traveling. This is a great one because usually when we're traveling, we are paying you know, a larger amount. This is not no $10, $20, $30. We're when you're traveling, it's usually a big ticket item. So we'll start with the trains and the subways. So do you know that you can call your local MTA or transit authority and get a bus pass mailed to you, or wherever bus passes are sold? Sometimes you can buy them in the grocery store. So they have the senior ones. Usually the free ones are mailed to you because you probably have to fill out a form, and they make sure that you're who you say you are and you're the age that's the correct age, and then they'll mail out the free bus pass. Um, and that's most states have that. So definitely take a look at that. Sometimes I think some people just have to show their ID and they'll get on the bus for free. So it's a great way to save on gas if it's somewhere just down the street, or you want to, there's no parking or parking's expensive where you're going, you can take the bus or the train. Same thing with the subway and the commuter trains. They have senior discounts. You just have to look into it. So get online, do your research, pick up the phone, call, and they're there. They have representatives waiting for you all. They're not going to advertise these free passes because people will take advantage of it and abuse it. So it's not widely marketed and advertised. Did you know that Amtrak offers 10% off, but you have to be 65 or older? So keep that in mind. I always use Amtrak. I'm always using them. I love trains, actually. I prefer jumping on a train than flying nowadays. All right, so if no questions, we'll move on. Anyone wanted to add to that? Remember, it's an interactive class, so I'm ready to answer any questions you have, or if you have any comments where you save a significant amount, please share. All right, so let's talk about cruise lines. Um, Celebrity, Norwegian, Princess, Royal, they're the top brands right now that people are cruising with. They will automatically take a 10% off discount just by adding your date of birth. So you really don't have to ask. You can ask to make sure that you meet their range, because it could be anywhere from age 50, depending on the cruise brand, anywhere from 50 up to 65 before you'll get that discount. So just inquire for cruise lines. 10% off of $1,000 cruise, 10% off, that's $100. The more you're spending, the more you'll save when you get your discount. All right, so let's look at hotels. This is a biggie. We are always, either traveling or someone's coming into town, and you want to, you know, tell them about the senior discounts. You can definitely make sure. These are just a few of the brands, but pretty much most hotel brands offer a senior discount. Again, they will probably ask for your ID when you're checking in to make sure that you qualify for that 10% off. So just be sure to travel with your ID. So Comfort Suite, Crown Plaza, Hyatt. Um, you definitely, most of them, you need to be 60 or over. For instance, Cambria Suites, they offer anywhere from 10 to 30% off their rooms. You have to be 60 or over. Candlewood Suites, they offer 10% off. You must be 62. Clarion Hotels, they're part of the Choice Hotel brand, also Comfort Inn. They offer anywhere from 10 to 30% off, but you do have to be 60 or over for that. All right, and as you can see, Crown Plaza is 62 or over. The discount with Crown Plaza, the rates vary. It can probably be as low as 5% up to, any other amount, it depending on if the, I guess how full the hotel is on the discount that you'll probably be offered. And be careful of that because sometimes the lowest rate might not be the senior rate. So definitely check their lowest rate, the regular on sale rate for that week or that time frame, and then check the senior rate and see which one's lower. Because a lot of times the regular sale rate could be lower. Okay, so Hyatt hotels, again, their rates will be based on availability of the hotel and the location and the dates. So keep that in mind. Nights In, they do 10% off, um, 60 or over. La Quinta Inn, their discounts vary, but you do need to be 65 or older. Marriott, which is a great brand. It's one of my favorites. Their senior rate is based on availability. So again, check their regular rate and then ask for the senior discount. Do it backwards. Get the regular rate first. Sometimes the regular rate is so much less. And for their senior rate, you have to be 62 or over. And then Travel Lodge, you can get up to 10% off and you need to be 60 or over. Again, I probably didn't name a hotel that you use, but if you know of any that I didn't name, that you do get a discount and it's a great discount, you can type it in the chat so we can share with everyone. All right, moving on, let's talk about flights. This is a big one, big ticket one, especially here lately. Flights to international destinations have been really, really high. So you definitely want to save if you can. And a lot of times with the airlines, just by giving your date of birth, it automatically qualifies you. But you do want to ask the representative or your travel agent, hey, make sure I'm getting the best deal. Because again, their online rate could be lower than the senior rate. So you want to do it backwards. You want to check their regular rate, and then you want to make sure you get that discount and see if that's lower. So American Airlines, they have various amounts of discounts for their seniors, even up to 50% off, but you do have to be 65 or older. Delta Airlines, they do 10% off on select flights. So it's probably not going to be the Caribbean. It's probably not going to be Europe. It's probably going to be their domestic flights, but definitely look into it because 10% is good no matter what. United Airlines, they do discounted senior fares for select travel destinations again. So probably your domestic flights. and you do need to be 65 or older to take advantage of that. So let's check the chat and see if anybody has any questions or any comments. I don't see any, so we'll continue on. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit because we're running short on time, but that's it. That was the last slide. So, okay. I hope this has helped you. I hope you've learned new places that you can get find senior discounts. Look in your local paper also, and just make sure you're taking advantage of discounts that are out there. But you learned today tips on where to find them, how to find them, making that list so you can always check your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, what's on sale, where, what discounts you can get where, and navigating the online and offline resources that are available to you. Google is your friend. Always Google and see who has,